This is docket 585 WR 103, the application of the city of Bloomer for authority to adjust water rates. This is Michael Newmark, the administrative law judge for the PSC. We're here on Zoom with utility, their consultants, commission staff, and members of the public in attendance. And I just want to acknowledge we have a significant number of public attendees here today. We are taking public comments today live, and that'll be recorded. And that recording will be available on the YouTube channel for the PSC. We are also taking public comments in writing. I think we have about 5 comments. Yeah, 5 comments so far filed online. And we can also receive those through the US mail. We just need to get them in by Tuesday, June 20th. So the comments we receive by the deadline, I will submit those for the record. Also, the record's going to consist of the recording, all the documents we identify and verify under oath as exhibits, and all the comments that we take today on the recording. We all be part of the record. Why is that important? Because the record is the information that the commission will use to make its decision in the case. The decision maker for this case is Andy Galvin, the division administrator for the Division of Water Utility Regulation and Analysis. So Administrator Galvin will review the record and make a decision on the case. The commission has the power to approve, reject, or modify the application or the proposals that are in the record. And then once a decision is made, a written order will be issued. It'll be emailed to the utility and posted on the commission's website. So that's our basic process. Let's move on then to the utility and get its documents verified and submitted for the record. So on the screen share, I'm going to share an email that Andrew Fisher of commission staff sent to me that identifies the utility documents, the staff documents, and the current list of public comments on file. So for the utility, we have basically 2 sets of documents here. The customer notice is one. I guess the acceptance of revenue requirement may be part of that, but we'll see. And then the rest of the documents are more technical related to the application. So I know we do have utility representatives and the technical consultants. So we want to split those up between the 2 who are best qualified to verify those documents. So we'll start with the notice. So who do we have at the utility that's best qualified to verify the notice?
This is Lisa. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lisa. Sorry.
I was going to say, this is Lisa Trebutusky, the Ellers consultant, and I can actually speak to all of the documents.
All of them? Okay, that's fine. So let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So we have the 8 documents displayed on the screen. Can you see those?
I can.
Are you familiar with them?
I am.
And are they complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Any comments you'd like to make?
I'm just going to add that the customer notice was also posted on the city's Facebook and posted in a newspaper as well.
Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. So anyone else wish to speak on behalf of the utility? No one? You know, I know there's a lot of people in attendance, so I just wanted to have someone speak on behalf of the utility. Can you just tell us what the main drivers for the rate increase request was? I think that might be useful to inform people contemporaneously with before they make their comments.
The reasoning for the utility.
This is the mayor, so I'm gonna swear you in.
Oh.
So raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, great. So just give us your name for the record.
James Kaler.
All right, go ahead.
Well, just to give a summation of the project itself, in 2020, city water test revealed that we had lead positive results in our water. The city at that time, working with the Department of Natural Resources, basically came down with a mandate that we had to correct our service lines for the water. And at that point, we had some other options too, as far as updating our well houses, or adding additional chemicals to the water, which would have been millions of dollars. The council at that time did not want to become another Flint, Michigan. So they decided to update the water lines. And with that update, you're not just going to rip up the roads to get to the water lines and not do anything with the old sewer lines or the infrastructure itself. So at that time, we decided to do this project. We were in the, I guess, the beginning of this program with the federal government that provided grants and low-income funding. We were able to secure a 1% 40-year loan and received an additional $5 million in grants for this project. However, that was still not enough to cover everything. And so this is where we're at with our increases in the water utilities.
Okay, great, thanks. It might not have been clear to everyone just because of the audio here, but you said the problem was with lead. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and you also mentioned work on the sewer lines. Is this case strictly dealing with the cost for water utility service?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks. I appreciate just getting that background for everybody who's listening. So let's move on to commission staff. We have two revenue requirement document. Let's just start with that. So is that Stefan Elmer for that document? There you go.
Got it.
Okay, excellent. So let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And revenue requirement exhibit, you're familiar with that?
Yep.
Is it complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
And can you also verify that suspension letter?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so suspension request response letter, is that complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, and any comments you'd like to make?
No comments.
So we'll turn to cost service study and rate design. Andrew Fisher. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Can you confirm that the cost of service study and rate design is complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Any comments?
I have no comments.
All right. So we do have the 5 written comments from the public. That'll go on the record. And I'm going to turn off the screen share now because I don't think we're going to need it. And we'll move on to public comments. So we have quite a number of people joined us from the public, and we have kind of an interesting awkward system with Zoom in that it just lists everyone alphabetically with their first name. So I'm just going to go through the people connected here in that order. I'll ask you to unmute and see if you'd like to make a comment. So let's start off first with Adam Reed. Are you there? And if you can get turn your camera on as well, that will help me find you. Also, we kind of like to have cameras on for people who need to read lips for auditory disabilities. So we would like you to do that if you can. So Adam Reed, any comment from you? Okay, not seeing you there. So Anne Flashingbauer, I'm getting that kind of close. Sorry for that butchering of your name. Anne? No? Looks like C. Barabu. Would you like to make a comment?
No comment.
No comment? Okay. We have more utility people. Daniel Gomez, would you like to comment?
No comment.
No comment? All right. Earl Bernie Hassimer.
The only, Earl here.
I see you there. Okay, you would like to comment?
The only problem I have with the.
Let me just swear you in first, and
Okay.
I can put you on there. So please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And can you speak up? It's just a little hard to hear.
Can you hear me any better now? Is it?
It's a little better. Just if you're a little louder, speak a little louder. I think that'll solve our problem.
That's what I did is I raised it, but apparently the audio is low in my wife's computer here.
I think you're okay. Yeah, just go ahead.
Well, the only problem I have is the increase in water rates due to all the reconstruction that's being done in Bloomer on the sewer and water and the concrete, the sidewalks, the boulevard, the streets, it doesn't seem right to stick all that expense into the water to go and increase for a water rate, when it's not just water, it's all the utilities around the water that's also included in this 200% increase, I would say. That's just a comment that I have about to prove that the 200% increase is just for water and sewer. It's not. It's for a lot of other stuff that's going on besides. And I'm not sure that should be taken into consideration when they're going to do a rate increase. That's all I have to say. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your comment. Well, I hope to end any confusion that people may have about this. So I'm going to ask Andrew Fisher from commission staff just to give us, or either Stephen or Stefan or Andrew, whoever wants to do that, but just to give us a rundown, just to make sure we can verify that, what costs are being recovered in this case.
This probably maybe is a better question for Stefan or the utility, but I would assume that it's only water utility costs that are being recovered from the rates that are in the rate proposal.
Yeah, well, that's what we heard from James Kohler, the mayor. We're operating with the understanding that there are only costs for sewer, the sewer costs being recovered in this case. So no,
only water utility costs.
Yeah, right. No, now I'm confusing everyone, including myself. Only water costs are recovered in this case. As a commission, the Public Service Commission doesn't regulate sewer and doesn't set rates for sewer, at least only in very certain exceptions, but not for this utility, not for this municipality. So because we don't regulate sewer for this municipality, no, we can't approve costs for improving the sewer system. So, unless there's some accounting error coming in on the application, then all costs for this are water costs. And no errors have been found with the review that we've done so far. So that just so people understand that we're strictly talking about water costs in this case. Okay, so let's move on to anyone else who wishes to comment. Let's see if I can say, I don't know if it's at C Barabu. I think you're unmuted now. Did you want to talk? Oh, no, you said no, right? I'm going to mute you then, just so I don't confuse you again. Okay. See, Daniel Gomez said no. Jessica, someone who had just signed in as Jessica. Would you like to make a comment? And I'm going to unmute you now. And
okay.
First, let me see. Did you like to comment?
I'll just make a comment.
Okay, let me swear you in.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And just give us your full name and go ahead.
My full name is Jessica Reichel. When I initially got the notice in the mail, I wondered how the water increase was related to the over the past few years, the program to have residents remove wells. And it just seemed oddly timed. And that's my comment.
Okay. Can the utility speak to that? Any information you could give about?
I can speak to that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So the Department of Natural Resources, it was not just a current event. This has been going on for several years. Department of Natural Resources has mandated again to our utility or wastewater treatment plant that they did not want city to have wells in the city, within the city limits. And so our utility crews located wells and sent owners notices that their wells had to be abandoned per DNR requirements.
Okay, and no
It
cost.
was not because of this project whatsoever. It had been going on for years, and it just, I guess, it just happened at the same time.
Okay. All right, thanks. So let me check my list again. So I think Kevin Stratton looks like you're our next person here. Let's see if that is it.
Thank you. No comment.
No comment. Okay. We have one more person joining us. Lynn W. I see you there. Would you like to comment?
No comment at this time. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. This is RSMET. Would you like to comment? No? How about TZ?
Hi, this is Tasha Zeman.
All right. Let me see. Would you like to comment?
Sure.
All right. Let me swear you in. So raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
So I guess what potentially I would maybe like to see, instead of doing a 200 increase over, the next few months, is if we could potentially push that out so it's not such a burden on the residents in town. And yeah, that's maybe just a thought or a suggestion, just because the increase is quite substantial. And maybe that it wouldn't be such a financial burden if we can push it out longer.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for making that. And I guess if someone can comment, utility or commission, I know that there's a loan involved in this cost recovery situation. Is there anything that may prohibit extending the rate increase over a period of time rather than hitting us with a 200% right away? Is there any restrictions that would prevent that? Anybody? No. Okay. Well, it's something. Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to point out that the rate increase is going to be implemented in 2 steps over time. So the first step will be implemented, when the final decision is issued. And then the second step increase will take place when the utility notifies the commission when this large construction project is completed. So potentially the rate increase could take place over the next, two increases over the next year or so, depending on when the project is completed. So there is the increases built in over a year to allow a little bit of time for people to adjust.
Okay. And what's the first step percent increase?
The first step for the average residential customer is about 51% compared to current rates.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks.
I do have a comment to add to that if you would like.
Is that who's speaking?
Sandy Bryan.
Sandy. Okay, great. So let me swear you in. Yep, go ahead. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So with this project, with the USDA funding, it's basically phased out in 2 different phases. And with that is the funding from USDA. And so part of the 2-step is to make sure that we can make our loan payment once it goes into fully being expected, which would be June of 25, I believe. And so we have to make sure that we have those funds available to make those payments. So that's another reason that, it's in 2 steps versus maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for that. So I do have 4 phone callers on the line. I do see, is Debbie Robinson? I see her on the screen. Did you want to make a comment? Not, it looks like you're saying no, but you're muted. So I'm not sure exactly. But you may also be driving at this point, so I'm not going to, not going to ask you for anything else until, if you want to make a comment, please pull over and then let me know. All right, so phone callers, I'm going to give people the last three numbers of their phone number to identify them. So the first caller I have has a number ending in 139. Would you like to make a comment? No? How about so you need to push *6 to unmute. You might not realize that right now. Yes, would you like to make a comment?
Yes, I would.
All right, great. I'm going to swear you in first. Raise your right hand. Sorry, let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, so give us your name and go ahead.
Logan Woodruff. I guess my biggest thing is I can see some increase in price. We got to cover these costs somehow, but 192% seems awfully ridiculous. The project planning seemed very poor, I thought. Doing it during COVID, yep, I understand it needs to be done, but as there was a comment from the city earlier, this has been a ongoing problem supposedly for years and years, about how when we were talking about the wells being removed and whatnot, if it's been a problem for years, why I don't feel like we've had proper budgeting in the city for this. You gotta budget for problems even if there's not a problem currently. I guess maybe there was more that I didn't know of, but I'm not seeing proper budgeting going on, and I guess that's it. It's just I don't feel like there was proper budgeting going on, and 192 compared to other cities, we're already almost double the water cost Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, without the increase, and now we're going to be nearing 300% higher than Chippewa Falls. I just don't see that much money is the right thing to do to the citizens, and that'll be all.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Can I make a comment, please?
Yeah, go ahead. Just give us your name. Some people aren't able to see.
James Taylor again.
Okay.
The wells were an ongoing situation with the city of Bloomer. It had nothing to do with this infrastructure, water project whatsoever. That was totally separate. So the budgeting facets you discussed had really nothing to do with the wells. We were thrust upon this in 2020. So we did not have a lot of time to budget from the past for this project. It was thrown at us because of the lead samples coming back positive. That's what triggered this whole thing. Just to clarify, it had nothing to do with the wells. So we did not know about this. It was not an ongoing budgeting issue that we had anything to do with. It was thrown at us that we couldn't budget for it. We're very happy we're able to get the funding that we got. Initially, we were told that we were eligible for up to $16 million. We did not get that much. We got $5 million for the grant, but we thought the 40-year 1% loan was very fair as well.
Okay. Did you get what was the deadline that DNR gave you to have the lines replaced?
20. Initially, it was at the end of this year.
Yeah, so it'll been the end of this year, 2023. So
Okay.
again, hard for the city to try to budget for a project we had no knowledge was coming. Essentially, it was a 2-year notice. Get this done or else.
Okay. Well,
Am
thanks.
I able to make one more comment?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
I know the lead was the issue and DNR was the big push on that, not the city directly, but was there absolutely no knowledge of any lead pipes throughout the whole city prior to because there's always been water tests. Isn't there any inkling, or even the time that the city was kind of built around, there was no inkling that there would have been lead in the ground prior to this that we could have kind of budgeted?
No, we knew we had lead service lines in the water, but we've always come up clean on our tests, so we had no inkling of this whatsoever.
All right, that'll be all for me. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks for your participation. All right, so I'm going to continue with the phone callers, and we just have a few more people joining us, but we're just taking those 2 more phone calls first. So, or maybe it's. Oh, let me mute one thing. So let's see. So phone number ending in 568. Need to press *6 to unmute, and we can take your comment. Hi there. Can you hear me?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
All right. Would you like to comment?
I would just
Okay, let me swear
I have
you
a
in first.
question.
Let
Sure.
me swear you in first. So raise your right hand, and do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do under God.
Okay, great. So give us your name and your comment question.
My name is Ken Smetana. It's Smetana. And I guess my question, so basically, if I understand this right, and maybe to clarify this with the rest of the public, this basically has to do with the project replacing our water lines, that we were received less from the government as far as grants go. And so this burden is going to be upon the city of Wilmer's people. Is that correct?
That sounds like what I'm hearing. If you want to confirm that from the city, if you'd like to, you can.
What was your question, Ken? If I kind of missed part of that, Ken, go ahead. If you could repeat it.
Yeah, he just wanted you to confirm the basis for the increase. I think you stated it before, the lead lines replacement.
Yes, because of the water lines, Ken.
Okay, so this increase, once it takes care of that cost, James, are our rates going to go back down then?
Our loan is for 40 years out, so we won't see that coming
So
down.
Okay, so this is taking care of the 40-year loan.
Yes.
Okay, I just need that clarified. Thank you much.
Thanks, Ken.
Great. Thanks for your question. So now we have a phone call ending in 853. 853. You need to push *6 to unmute. Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Would you like to make a comment?
Yes.
Okay, let me swear you in then. Raise your right hand. Do you
Okay.
swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, give us your name and comment, please.
My name is Amy Bovey, Bowe, and I guess when we bought our house 27 years ago, we were always told that the the water was always high in Bloomer and stuff, and we've always felt like, we used to start with a quarterly water bill, and they went to the monthly to help ease the pain on the elderly in our city, and to ease the pain on young parents that have young kids that can't afford this high water bill. And so that seemed to be nice, but now all of a sudden you're going to, it seems like everything else is going up, and you're going to hit us with this high cost of water. So our water, it's been pretty, it's just my husband and I, but there's reason why people don't have flowers and stuff in town, because they can't afford the water as it was. And now you're going to increase it 190%. I just don't understand why this can't be something that goes on our tax roll. I know we still would pay for it, but to take our bill from $27 to roughly $45 to $80-some in a year or a year and a half seems quite high. There's no way you can find other ways to find other funding to fund this project.
Okay, thanks for that. Well, it looked like the utility did try to find ways to mitigate this, so it wasn't just through rates. But I don't know if the city has any comment they want to make on that.
No comment.
No.
And I
okay.
guess the other comment I have is, why did we get a letter why hasn't this been, you guys known since 2020? And this is all of a sudden came upon that, bam, now this is going to happen. You know, I mean, I know you were talking about how you were expecting more funding, we didn't get it. I mean, if we didn't get the funding, how can they expect the city to turn their water bill 3 times over type thing, you know? That, I guess that's the question I have. I mean, or the comment. It's like they're trying to, you're going to run people out of town, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, appreciate you making the comment. I don't know if there's an answer for that question, but yeah, I think that's the situation that you're all being faced with for sure. Any?
Can I make a comment, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, that's a good question, Amy. Thank you. We're kind of in a perfect storm here in the city of Bloomer, unfortunately. We haven't had a rate increase for 14 years. And I do admit that our water prices are a little higher than other communities. So we haven't had a rate increase for 14 years. We are also mandated by the DNR to put in a phosphorus plant in a few years ago. And so we're getting hit with all these mandates. As far as the planning, unfortunately, when the city decided to go ahead with this project, it's hard to tell the public what their numbers are going to be until we get the numbers ourselves. And I understand that it'd be nice to plan for situations like this, but it was very difficult with all that was going on. And, you know, we do apologize for that. And we do have to go through the Public Service Commission for all these approvals. So we don't know a lot of these prices ourselves. You know, you got notified almost as quick as we did. We knew the prices were going to be elevated, but we had no idea what they were going to be. But thank you, Amy. Good question.
Okay, well, thanks. So we have one up. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I think we have one more caller, and then we have a few more people on Zoom we haven't gotten to yet. So the caller has a phone number ending in 910. If you'd like to make a comment, just press *6 to unmute your phone. Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right.
My name is Vicki Fankhauser, and I would like to make a comment.
Perfect, thanks. So I'll swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
My main concern is how the people within Bloomer who are on fixed incomes are going to be able to pay for these increases. I realize that it's a perfect storm and the cost was unexpected and all that, but the people that are on fixed incomes are not going to be able to have the fluidity to afford such an increase over the next 2 years. And I'm wondering if the city of Bloomer would be aware of programs or grants or anything that the elderly and others on fixed income could pursue to help offset some of this cost, or if possibly if they are awarded more of the state shared revenues, if some of that money could be earmarked to offset the cost of this project. And that is all I have to say.
Well, thanks.
That's another good question, Vicki. Believe me, we are looking at all funding options. Any available funds that are out there, I have wrote letters to my state senator, my state representative, to Tom Vilsack from the federal government. I've contacted all these people with these concerns, believe me. It's very frustrating to be able to do this as a city representative. It's certainly not what I wanted to do, and but we are continuing our avenues to look for additional funding. So thank you, Vicki.
You're welcome.
Okay. I think that's all the callers we have on the line right now. So I know I saw Debbie Robinson still on the line. Did you want to comment now? No? Okay. And I believe there was Sarah who joined us and has been waiting. Any comment from Sarah? Okay, so let me just ask if there's someone I've missed and that person wishes to make a comment. Let me know now. Is anyone else I haven't called yet?
I would like some additional comments, please.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let me just make sure we got everyone so far.
Okay. I just don't want to be lost in the shuffle.
Yep, no worries there. Okay, yeah, it looks like we don't have anyone else. You may generate another comment, so we'll see. But go ahead.
I do have a few comments. Does the city of Bloomer have any other options for funding this project other than being absorbed through the water utility? I think you've heard this from other concerned citizens as well. Could another utility be tapped to cost to share with this project? I want to get that on the record. Another comment. Since the full project will not be complete until the end of 2024, can the water utility increase be on a more gradual scale versus like a lot of the people mentioned, the drastic increase that we're looking at? And another comment is, how can the Public Service Commission expect small communities like the city of Bloomer continue to absorb cost increases with mandated treatment facilities like the phosphorus treatment plant we had to construct? Also, with future concerns with treatment of PFAS treatment coming down the road. Now, that's going to be a major concern, especially for small communities. PFAS is of course, what they're claiming is the forever chemical. And the DNR is already telling us that we have to start making plans for that. And there's just no way that a small city like the city of Bloomer can absorb these costs and keep passing these on to the taxpayers. When we confront the DNR, they just said, well, you just need to increase your water rates. Well, how much can a city continue to increase their water rates to cover these mandated programs? It's very frustrating, again, as a city official. And my last comment is, would any consideration for property owners be made who use a lot of water to irrigate their properties and gardens? Having a separate meter for this use and being charged a less price. Just wanted to see if that's an option, if that's something that could be considered as well. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to be clear. So you're asking the commission to consider separate rates, or you're just consolidating the comments for us?
Throwing out ideas as far as how we can look at this differently, as far as, like we said, we're dealing with a very high price increase here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just looking at different options as far as how to fund this.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, and I think some of the proposals you're laying out here are something we would need you to apply to us for. So I guess if you don't have an irrigation tariff at the moment, you'd probably have to ask us to implement one. That's an example anyway that I picked out from what you were saying. I don't know if staff has anything else they want to comment on in terms of relief from the commission, because it sounds like from what you were saying, it was things that we need to ask us, formally apply for that kind of determinations to implement those things. So just want to give you a heads up about that.
Okay.
So it looks like Earl Hasner has his hand up. So did you have something else you wanted to add?
Is the only affecting the city of Bloomer, or is the DNR going to every city and using the same results that they have to increase the water in every city around here? Is that how it's kind of working? That's another question I have, Michael.
Sure. I know lead service lines are certainly an issue statewide. I don't know how DNR is handling that on a utility by utility basis. And if someone else has information about that.
I could comment to that, please.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Earl, one of the reasons we jumped into the program when we did is because we were at the ground level of this lead problem that's occurring, like you said, throughout the whole state of Wisconsin. We wanted to get in early because we thought that's when we had the more opportunity to get the funding and get the grants. Because we looked at it as, if we waited a year, the DNR would have mandated other items on us and we would not have gotten nearly the monies we did receive. So that's why we did that.
All right, so anyone else hasn't spoken yet? Okay, I'm not hearing anybody or seeing anybody. So don't forget, we'll still accept written comments up until, what did I say before? Tuesday, I believe, before I confuse everyone. Tuesday, June 20th, right? So if you're mailing those in, we need to get them in by Tuesday. And if you're, and the online comment link will be open until the end of day Tuesday. So like 11:59, 59 seconds, you'll still be able to submit a comment online on Tuesday. So feel free to add whatever comments you like now that you've heard the discussion here today. And you can review the documents in the case on our website. But we will be forwarding the recording and the documents to Andy Galvin for a decision. And then, like I said, an order will be issued, emailed to the utility and posted on the commission's website. So thanks everybody for participating. Definitely had a great turnout here, and I'm glad to see that everyone is participating, getting their comments in and engaged in the situation. That's certainly going to help the process. So thank you, everybody. Take care. We're adjourned.